A pleasant good morning to everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Coles Brown Show, right here on the Black College Sports Network. Yours truly, Coles Brown. Willa Brown is joining us, and I guess we'll have the rest of the panel pulling in one by one. We're off schedule a little bit, but thank God we've made it. Let me say quickly, I'm in a new location, but I'm at the same location, if that makes sense. I'll be brief. You thank the creator. You just thank the creator. I had a nasty fall last Friday, and the good thing is, no surgery needed, no infection. Just what technically it's called is patella bursitis. And you know what that means, Will? You might can adjust to this. I hit my right knee on the concrete. Let me tell you this, folks. Concrete don't bend, still undefeated. Also, I learned I'm not 21 or 31. So the recovery is slow, but thank God. So basically, without being too graphic, I've got at the time, a big pool of fluid under my kneecap. Ouch. Sore. Stiff. Sore, but each day you fight and you get a little bit better. Also, prayers go out to everyone. There's a big ice/snowstorm. Those that are going to be affected, we are praying that you make it through. So, with that being said, of course, our guest menu, the panel, here's what's trending. SWAC basketball, SWAC conference basketball, boy, it's heating up. I'll provide a few Southern University football updates for you, and then we'll get again into some heavy SWAC basketball. It's simply called SWAC Basketball Report. Didn't get a chance to talk with you last week, so for all of those who reached out to me, I don't know, maybe they thought I was in a serious situation. Serious, but not serious that I was gone, So, hey, once again, we thank the creator. We thank our producers for getting us on. We had to make some adjustments. So, here we are. Gentlemen, SWAC basketball is heating up. And since the last time we talked, Southern University basketball, boy, I was wiping a little sweat from under my hat. You know what I mean? It was tough. Since Coach Judd's been there, I've never seen a 2-game losing streak, and quite honestly, it was almost a 3-game losing streak. But they lost to FAMU. And by the way, let me say this, and I shared this with some of the FAMU colleagues on this network. It's starting to become a nice potential rivalry, Southern and FAMU. Now, Coach Pettaway, if you disagree, that's fine. I feel better. I know I'm back if you disagree or agree. But boy, man, it's the beginning of a nice rivalry, I believe. Then Southern University goes to Bethune-Cookman, a hard place to win. And then they're down in the first half, and then, holy cow, they pull it off. Then they go to Grambling State, and we have seen excellent teams go into Grambling, Charles. And it's like you're fighting the team, you're fighting the refs, you're fighting the crowd to escape out of that with a victory. And lo and behold, the women and men team got out of there. It was blowouts. This is just strange basketball season so far. I've seen great teams, better than the ones now, go in there and get scalped. No pun intended, Charles. But man, to blow out Grambling men and women, and no disrespect to Grambling men, because the panel, and not only the panel, they said, man, watch this Grambling State basketball team. They're rolling. And Southern went in there. So kudos to the men's basketball team. Then on the women's side, boy, FAMU. Not only are those colors are really light. Then Southern women winning most of the game, and then guess what, Coach? If you don't finish it, put them away. Anything could happen. And took care of Southern University women. So with that being said, guys, what do you think so far? I titled the SWAC basketball conference race is heating up, and I think that's where we at.
Right. I think it's a great time of the year for college basketball, and then the SWAC. To me, Florida A&M should be the surprise team on both sides. I think both men and women. I think they're playing better than most of us anticipated. And particularly their women who came out of nowhere. I mean, I think at the beginning they didn't even have a non-conference win until late, and then here they are. They jump into conference play, and they're playing. To be 4-2 at this point, I think that's a big surprise to everybody for FAMU. And then, of course, you cannot forget about them Lady Braves. Man, Alcorn State, the women Braves are playing some fantastic basketball. I got a chance to see them against Bethune-Cookman the other night. Between listening to Charles and trying to keep up with it on the tube, it was pretty entertaining. And so my hats off to Alcorn State doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. And now, just like we're giving out praise, I do have a couple of disappointments. For me now, this is just Vann Pettaway. I thought Prairie View to me is very disappointing this year, along with Grambling State women. And then I thought Jackson State's women would be better than where they are right now. So now that's just me. And I've had a chance to see all of these teams play. And this is going to be a very interesting season. I don't think there's going to be I think it's going to go down to the last week of the season, Carlos. I'm going to be honest. I think you're not going to have a clear-cut winner until the last end of the week of the season. And that means that we're going to have a great tournament. If this continues to play out like it's playing right now, there's going to be an awesome tournament in Atlanta. And all I want to do is get the women out of the way. Yes, that's the women. Yep.
Your words and your expertise is well respected by me. And, I had some slick person text me and said, this is what happens when everybody's and I don't see the correlation, but when everybody is going to be in the tournament, that person must be a conspiracy theorist. No, it could have happened even if it was 8-team tournament.
Right. Yeah.
And also, guys, I really believe this. You mentioned FAMU not a non-conference win, but who knows you better than anybody else? Teams in your conference. And they're going to fight you. And so on Southern women's side, defending champion, they're going to get everybody's best shot. And I've seen that already. On the men's side, they're kind of trapped. Here's what I mean. They won the regular season, but they didn't win the tournament. We all know that. But they're also getting everybody's best shot. And so they were picked, second? Bethune-Cookman picked first. Charles on the men's side. Follow what Coach Pettaway said, basically, and we'll get Willer's comment, too, about surprises and disappointments.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that what the Lady Braves are doing right now has been something special so far as we get to the third of the way point of the season. If you just look at the stats, we're last in the league offensively, but the reason why we're near the top of the conference with Southern University and Alabama A&M is our defense. It's hard to score 60 points on us, and we're getting just enough offense. And the game the other night that Coach Pettaway referenced to, it's been a chamber of horrors for us to go into Daytona and win at the Wood Gym, but we found a way to get it done. And so this is the big game right here because Florida A&M has been a pleasant surprise. Coach Pressure, as they call her, Bridget Gordon, has done a nice job so far. And so we're going to have to take care of business here to stay near the top of the standings because Southern University, they bounced back nicely, as well as Alabama A&M. I mean, Coach Don Brown, not only they beating teams right now, they're whipping teams. So I think for the women's side, you could have a 3-horse race right now. I agree with Coach Pettaway as far as the disappointments. Albeit, I'll take one exception. I think Prairie View with the first-year women's coach there, I saw him last week, and they got some work to do. But first year, so you got to give them a little grace with that. But Jackson State is really been a big disappointment. I was told the other day their best player has left the team. So that's going to be huge, And Margaret Richards is used to dealing with not a deep roster anyway. But when you lose your best player, that obviously is a key factor. So Jackson State's kind of a disappointment to me. Prairie View not so much, but Florida A&M's men, they were picked to finish 8th, and here they are. And Charlie Ward is just winning people over left and right.
Yep.
So being a local guy here with every win is just more confidence. But the Braves have some confidence as well, coming in here and playing later on. So I agree. I think that with the tournament being what it is, I just think the talent. Teams have talent. Transfer portal. Look at the scoring in this league. The scoring on the men's side is up. I looked at the stats this morning. I mean, scoring is up. Is it great scoring or bad defense? I don't know which one. Coach Pettaway can answer that. But it's definitely exciting. You're not going to see a team run away with it, I don't think. I think every week the standings are going to change. I think you got the top 11 teams, 2.5 games within each other from 1 to 11, I think, on the men's side. So this stuff's going to change nightly, and you got to come ready to play. Because even a team like Valley that's been down, you saw what they did, beat Alabama A&M early on, and they've been in some games. So I think this is the excitement that we've been waiting for each and every Thursday, Saturday, Monday night. You better bring it, or else you're going to be handed a loss.
Wheeler?
I think it's good that you got some parity going on right now, especially early in the season. It brings a level of excitement, overall, I think. I think over the course of the next 2.5 weeks, it'll start to kind of thin itself out a little bit and kind of separate pretenders from contenders, I guess is the word. But I would doubt that the reason that it's like that is because all 12 teams are going to the conference. I mean, to me, that's just kind of absurd. I don't know who would even equate that.
You'd be shocked some of the emails I get.
But,
You'd be shocked.
But I think it's good for SWAC basketball that everybody's competitive. And but like I said, it'll start to thin itself out a little bit, in the next 2 weeks or so, I think. And we'll see who's for real and who's pretending.
Right. Now I think on the men's side, I just want to add a couple comments. Number one, I agree with Charles. Florida A&M is the surprise team on the men's side. We knew Bethune-Cookman was supposed to be there because that's where the coaches, picked them. And in that transfer portal, when he put together that team, we all thought that was a pretty good lineup. Now, whether or not they're going to continue to play well together, that's a different story. Now, if I'm going to call out a team that I think is a disappointment, just to me now, Charles, think about this. It's Alcorn State, and I'm going to tell you why. They played close games. I remember that Jackson State game was a very close game. Then they come into Huntsville, and they beat Alabama A&M. So I'm sitting there, I'm watching them. I'm like, wait a minute. They got something special right here. They got something special. But I will give them credit. Alcorn State has probably played the most controversial game of the year. Without a doubt.
Here we go.
They have played the most controversial game of the year. And then, Charles, I do believe that if I was coaching in that game, they probably would have had to suspend me. Because I would have told him a new one on that one now.
I know I would have got suspended.
Hey, you're not going to tell me that the game's over with.
By the way, I've been going to my wallet. Because I was going to get a fine on that one. There ain't no doubt about
that. Yeah.
And
hey, Carlos, I had to take out a second mortgage on the house, man. I won't get it, boy. I would have gotten it on that one, boy. But Charles, I'm serious. I thought after watching you all against us live, I said, you know what? This is a very special team. I think he's going to be. I even told Coach after the game, I thought he had a good ball club. You're right there, and the chips just not falling the right way. Because even in that Jackson State game, they should have had Jackson State. So that's a team that you're going to have to watch down the stretch because they do have enough pieces that they're gonna upset some people now. I think they're gonna upset some people down the stretch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that Texas Southern game, you all saw it. You saw the video. You heard the comments. And for me, I'm just about the operation of it all. Now, somebody told me a couple of days after the game, if they were on that sideline, it would be kind of the same thing that Coach Pettaway talked about. It would be pretty serious. And one person referred to that game as a tragedy, a travesty, all of that. The whole thing about that game, we can argue and debate whether or not it was a foul or not with a half a second left. We can argue that. The video shows it. A couple officials called it. But instead of going to midcourt and saying game over, right, the video replay was there to look at from the very beginning. If they had done that first, we probably wouldn't be having that much of a conversation about it. But because they ruled game over, and Johnny Jones raced out there, because once they leave the court, that's it. And so Johnny Jones did exactly what he was supposed to do and demanded a second look. And the second look said that there was a foul. We can argue whether it was a foul or not. There clearly was, I said on the broadcast, a half a second left. There was 0.4 of a second, if there was a foul at all. I didn't see it based on the video.
I thought it flopped. I thought it flopped.
Yeah. So again,
that was worthy of an Academy Award. I can tell you that. Just seeing he just flopped to me.
Right.
Send him an Oscar.
So out of all,
please.
So out of all that, for me, it's about the operation. If it's a foul, fine. If there's time left on the clock, fine. That's why you have replay to confirm or deny it. If they went to it from the very beginning, there wouldn't be all this brouhaha about it. But that's not the way it happened. And you're not. Someone asked me the other day, were they going to reverse it and all that? That wasn't going to happen. I mean, that was it. The final. We just got to move on. But I got to give Coach Pettaway, the Braves, a lot of credit for Monday night, because that game could, from a mental and emotional perspective, could have a lingering effect. It's your first home game of the year, and yet you lose a game that way. The fans were celebrating. Dean Barnes said on the mic, Braves win, and then you don't. How do you think that impacts the kids, the players? Now, someone said these kids are resilient. They can fight through that. Yeah. But a game like that was tough. But for them to come back and hit a shot with 3 seconds left to beat Prairie View, a team that's got a lot of firepower, just opposite of Byron Smith coach team, because he's used to being a defensive-minded guy, but they got some scores on that team, including a former Southern player that's on that team. For them to bounce back, I thought it was something special. And I think it does show the resiliency of this team, that how you can get off the mat. And they did that against Prairie View.
Yep. All good things, but we were off last week, right? And for those tuning in, they missed me talking about EA. Thank you. It shows that you really care a lot about me, because you mentioned the butt whipping with FAMU over Southern University. Yep, I did give credit on that. But now, 2 weeks ago, and I'm in several group text messages, who brought up the officiating inconsistent? My first thing was to you guys, was it the referee at the time on the baseline running back and forth, didn't see it, or did he see it, or he didn't see, or he saw somebody didn't see? And then you've had other people kind of complain about the officiating this year. It's been very inconsistent. So I think, I think I can say it. Maybe I'll get fined. Who cares? After the week I've been through, Coach, nothing pays me. But
it's been consistent, Carlos. Consistently bad.
There you go. Yes. And so if I'm a coach in the sideline, security probably would have to take me off. Escort me out. And you hate for the game to end like that, Charles.
Yes.
Also, it brings up something else. First thing people would say, well, you expect that to happen in Baton Rouge. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. So it is another school that can have disaster at home. officiating wise. And
Yeah.
I'll still go back to this, and I know I'll be dead wrong. 98% of people will disagree with me. I don't see the officiating better with 3 than with 2 officials. I'm sorry, Coach Pettaway. That's my soapbox. I expected a lot better officiating with a 3rd extra eyes. I don't see the difference. It's not better.
Well, I'm gonna add this, and I agree. There's a lot of chatter out there about these SWAC officials, but as it was reminded to me the other day, and I don't know if people know this, these officials in the SWAC call games for other conferences too. Conference USA, SEC, Conference USA, whatever. So these aren't just SWAC only officials. These officials are working in other conferences, and for them to be able to do that, they obviously have to pass some sort of muster to be able to do that. So I know we're quick to blame the officials, and look, the operation of what happened last week was not correct. They eventually got it right. We can argue the foul and all of that, but they eventually got it right. But the way they went about it, if they looked at the monitor first, we wouldn't be having as much of a conversation about this. But they didn't, and so the brouhaha continues even a week later. But these officials call games in other conferences, so they must be doing something right in terms of how that goes.
And then, and Charles, and particularly on Monday nights, we get the best of the best, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the officials we get on Monday night, they're not in the SEC, they're not in the ACC. That's their night off. So we get a lot of those guys. We have a lot of guys that are crossover officials. They officiated the SEC, the ACC. The other night, we had 2 guys on the floor that have called in Elite 8 for Division I basketball. So you get great officials, particularly on Monday night when you get that crossover crew coming in. Yeah. So now I know that for a fact now because I know the guys and I see them in the playoffs. And we've always had that since we've got the SWAC plays on Monday night. We normally get the elite officials on Monday night because they're not in the ACC and they're not in the SEC.
Yeah. So for me, guys, I just have to back up on the officiating a little bit. I mean,
I'm not.
I got caught up in it too, and being a homer, of course, I didn't see a foul from 60 feet away. But obviously, if you look at the video, you had one official on the near side close to the camera call a foul, and the one on the baseline called it. The one at the top of the key did not. And so that's kind of where I was, after looking at the replay several times. I didn't see it happen in real time because I was paying attention to what was going on in the paint. But clearly they saw something, and for them to say game over, I think that's where the confusion and all that came about. And Johnny Jones, rightfully so, went out there before they left the court to have them go back and look at it. And so they might have got it. They probably got it right. We can argue whether it was a foul or not, Coach Pettaway. You've seen the video. From my vantage point, it didn't look like it. And maybe I'm sounding like a homer, probably. But you could tell if it's a foul, a dislodge or something, a hack or something. A whistle did blow, from what I was told. A whistle did blow. And it was so loud, I just couldn't hear the whistle. So the officials, they saw it. They looked at it. And so they might have got it right. But just the whole operation of getting to it is what was confusing to me.
Did you see that comment? Did you see that comment about AD Drew?
Yeah, about 50%. Yeah. That's true. Those guys, those men and women that officiate games, they get criticized just as much as coaches do. I'm serious. Coach, you out there, everybody could be a Monday morning quarterback. But when you out there going through it, the officials are the same way. They got to make a call right now. Yeah. The only thing that's really helping some of them now is, you do have replay to back up your call. Mm-hmm. That's about the only thing that's helping them right now. But Carlos, I'm serious. For the most part, officiating has been pretty decent. Yeah. Now, as a coach, I promise you, I can live with the way they're calling some of these games now. You as a coach and as players, you have to make the adjustment. There are certain officials that they just have certain niches, certain things that they look for in a basketball game, and you have to make that adjustment. Like at the beginning of the game, I like to press, right? So we have to make sure that our pressure goes along with how they're calling the fouls. If you got a quick whistle, Carlos, I can't be as aggressive. I got to come out of. I can't do red. That's our attack key. I can't do red. Just attack. Just don't do red because they're calling it too close. So players have to make adjustment. Coaches have to make the adjustment to how the officials are calling the game. If they're doing it the same way on both ends, that's all you can ask for, man. Well, that's all you can ask for.
But yes, those guys talk. Those guys talk pride too. And if they know your style, your style of play, 9 times out of 10, they're going to allow you to play your style. Coach Pettaway, if you got a physical kind of team, that sort of thing and stuff, you're not going to get the little tic-tac calls, that sort of thing. They're going to pretty much let you play. They're going to call it obvious, no doubt, but they won't call the little tic-tac fouls, that sort of thing, because your reputation already precedes itself. And, those officials, like I said, they talk prior to going out there. They look at film. Heck, we got that Alabama and A&M team on Monday, and they like to play physical, that sort of thing. And so while they won't say we're going to allow Coach Pettaway's team to do what they want, it's kind of always already in the back of their mind, so to speak. They're going to allow more than they would normally allow. And that's just how it is.
Well,
don't make it right.
No,
just make it, like somebody said, they're human too.
Yeah, right. That's what I was gonna say. They're human too. But can we just admit, just like the athletes on the field, I can't per se coaching, you can have a bad day.
Oh yeah, yep.
And not just this game. I've heard other fans have kind of been saying it's been inconsistent. I'm gonna go back a couple of weeks ago. Texas Southern, Johnny Jones. Yeah, you don't fool me. He's coached on all levels, and so his words have a little weight to them. But I saw some, and look, they're human. They can't see everything. The best thing you can ask for is for them to be consistent. But I will just say, with the Alcorn situation plus, can we just admit they had a bad day? And if I'm in a position of power, I don't know if that sounds right, power, but if I'm in a position the next day from a conference perspective, I'm going to address that. I'm going to say, here's what happened. The refs got it right, or they got it wrong. But I would just come out and be transparent. But they had a bad day. Yeah. They had a bad day, Charles, and I can say it. They had a bad day.
Yeah, there was actually another call with about 45 seconds left. It was a ball knocked out of bounds that they went back and reviewed, and apparently they got that one wrong. So yeah, I mean it was tough. Johnny Jones got teed up early in the game, so he was already on tilt anyway. So that, I mean, I get all of that, and yeah, I mean some days the officials, it gets sideways and gets crazy, but for me, I just, on that particular inbound play, that play at the end was just, for me, the operation. That's all. We can argue the foul. We can argue whether or not it's a foul or not. But if they looked at the monitor first, if they huddled up at midcourt like they did and said, let's take a look at it, then I think we wouldn't be having as much of a conversation about it. But because they said game over, they said game over.
Yeah.
And so as a Coach Pettaway, you're in the handshake line, you're getting high fives. If they made it to the locker room, Jake Morton had a Gatorade bath waiting on him, and then for the officials to go back there and call him back out. I mean, I felt for Jake Morton in that moment, because he said he shook Johnny Jones' hand, thinking he had the game won, and Johnny Jones said, "Hold up now." I mean,
Johnny has power.
Hey, Willa, the handshake line turned into a knuckle fest, man.
No. Coach Pettaway, we got to set example for the kids. But
I felt for Coach Morton in that moment, because if he got the Gatorade bath and the high fives, the president shaking his hand, the AD shaking his hand, and then you get called out of the locker room to have that happen. And then, so I felt for Coach Morton, of course, the players and everybody, because we all thought we had the victory there. But I felt for Coach Morton because he's like, review what? I mean, but he did talk with the conference office. He did get the explanation. And so, again, you're not going to reverse the result. Texas Southern came in here and won the game. We had the lead late and all that. And to your point, Coach Pettaway, about the Braves, we were down 17 against Jackson State, led by 5 late, couldn't finish.
Yeah.
We were down 11 against A&M and did finish.
Yeah.
Didn't shoot the ball well against Alabama State, only shot at 37% on the road. You're not going to beat anybody shooting 37% on the road. That's tough. And yet the Texas Southern game was right there. We won with 3 seconds left against Prairie View. So obviously we could be in a much better position. If we can get these 2 in Florida, we'll be right back on track.
We just had to tell Jake, welcome to the SWAC.
No, I think that message has been sent loud and clear. I think you're exactly right, Will. Yeah, you are exactly right.
That unbelievable. You're right. 2 quick things. Because I wasn't feeling too well, but I was able to kind of listen to Charles as much as I can. This probably it's probably the second worst call I've seen or I know of in my life. You know what the other one? It brought back memories. Remember the Saints and the Rams a couple of years ago, Charles?
Yeah.
I had to be restrained in my house on that call.
As a Rams fan, that was pass interference. You are correct. Carlos. That was pass interference. Ain't no argument for me. But did the officials make the call? No, and they changed the rules on that too. So yeah, I agree with you. That was pass interference, but they didn't call it.
But see, even on that level, now that professional level, they miss calls now. So that's what I'm saying. And as long as you got the human element in there, that's going to happen. Because me as a coach, I promise you, if an official misses a call and that official acknowledges that to me, I'm all right as a coach.
Yeah.
If he come by, he said, "Yeah, coach, I missed that one." I said, "Well, okay." Now I'm through with it because he admitted that he missed it. They are human.
Yeah.
But I think that's why a lot of these supervisors let these officials know they need to communicate more with the coaches. That doesn't mean I stand over there and have a whole conversation with you. But when you come by, you say, "Yeah, coach, I missed that one. That one's on me." Now that's, as a coach, we move on.
Yeah, and if you come and maybe I missed it, the conference, did they release a statement on it, or didn't have to?
I never saw a statement from the conference. Did they release one, Charles?
No,
that's what I thought.
No, they haven't. And I was on Brian's show Sunday, and we were kind of talking about that. I think, Carlos, what you're saying, what you said, it's kind of what Brian Fulford has said, and probably a number of people have said, look, if the conference comes out with a statement, explaining what happened or what didn't happen, it's not going to change anything. But I think the transparency piece would be there. But as far as I'm concerned, there have not been a statement released, because you would have saw it on social media. Maybe the coach and the AD has the explanation from the conference office. I believe that has been the case, because Coach Morton talked with the SWAC folks, and so did our AD. AD Robinson did the same thing. So there was an explanation. It may not be what we're looking for, but I think people and fans want to know what the conference office saw. So I get it. And maybe the conference office will start doing that.
Yeah, a PR move. That can help. And I wonder, could we do a poll before this show is over? Maybe in the second hour, Roy. Here we go again. I'm going back to that third official. Do you think official has been better with a third official, or was it better with just 2? I still want to know, and I will accept the results of that poll.
Yeah.
Will I still complain about it? Yes.
Right.
Will I still feel bad about it from time to time? Yes. Because
Carlos, I'm gonna tell you,
Hmm?
for me, I like the third official because the game had become too physical for two people. You needed another angle. You needed another angle, Carlos, to help balance the game out. And see, the third official came also with some rule changes. Like, if you cut in front of us, our face, we gonna chuck you. Well, they came back and said, you got to stop doing that. And what I'm saying about chuck, we gonna impede your progress. I'm not gonna let you face cut me and get a doggone layup. You got to go around. In other words, the ball you man concept, we're gonna always believe in that. We're gonna stay between you and that ball. And a lot of times when you making a cut, we got to be physical with you to keep you from doing that. And so they started calling that more. And that's when the third official came in about the same time that they start regulating that more. So I think it has helped the game now. I'm gonna be honest. That third official, in my opinion, has helped the game. And now that you got replay for the arenas that have more than one camera angle, I think that has helped the game. Because now you can get a call right. The appeal that they've given to the coaches that are challenged, I like that.
But I also think it needs to, and I don't know if it is or not, it needs to be mandatory that all institutions have that ability.
They have
in terms of the replay, but that needs to be somehow, some way. That needs to be a conference rule. Even if the conference has to kind of chip in a little bit to help with those schools who might not be able to afford the technology.
Well, at first, when replay was first approved in the conference, it took a little time. And we start with football. It took a little time for all the schools to have it. The conference did chip in and help with schools that needed the help. But now every school has replay for football. Every school has replay for basketball. And it is not a cheap endeavor. I can tell you that. Just working with our folks.
It's not.
It's tens of thousands of dollars, and the type of cameras you get with the type of zoom that you need. You're talking a lot of money involved with that. We talked about that the other night too. But somebody asked me the question, did our replay stuff work? Because when you look at the video, the officials huddled up at first, and someone asked the question, well, was your replay on point? Yes, the answer is yes. I talked with our folks on Monday about it. They've got the clips. Every little segment can be clipped. And there's a wheel at the scorer's table. The monitor is up where they can go and pull up whatever clip they need to pull and take the wheel and rewind it. It's got the time. So that's how they were able to determine the foul and determine 0.4 of a second left. So that all that technology we had it up. I talked with our people about it, and it was up and running and actually ready to go in that situation.
So the video didn't, just help me understand, it didn't show a foul.
The video did show a foul with 0.4 of a second remaining.
The replay showed a foul.
The replay did, yeah. I mean, it was, again, that's the conversation we can have. I mean, Coach, you all have seen the video. Some people say, yeah, it was an obvious foul. Some says, where's the foul? I mean, because the video's out there, all that whole segment's out there on social media for people to look at, the whole thing. So that's the conversation we can have, foul or no foul. Coach Pettaway, did you see a foul?
No, that's what I'm saying, Charles. When
you're not a fan. You're not a fan of either one. I suspect the Texas Southern fans, if you break it down, oh yeah, I saw a foul.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Alcorn State fans are like,
where's the foul?
No. I promise you, when I said, wait a minute, where's the foul? Why did they blow the whistle? And then I was asking this. I said, well, when did they blow the whistle? Because I couldn't hear it.
Right.
I said, when did they blow the whistle?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I'm just wondering, did they use the hand signal? Because two of the three officials did put their hand up. And if you look at when they put their hand up versus when the backboard lit up, which would be zeros on the clock, I mean, I said if there was going to be a foul, it was going to be a half a second left. It was 0.4 of a second. So they're able to slow it down. That's what replay is for. So again, I don't have a problem with that either. I mean, whether it's a foul or not, we can talk about that. If there's time left or not, I don't have a problem with that. But let's just look at it to make sure we get it right. That's all I'm saying. But then, you know, when you come out and say game over, you knew Johnny Jones was going to let that fly. And so he constituted a review, and we came up with what we came up with. And so that's fine. I'm fine with it. It's tough to absorb. It's tough to swallow. First home game, Jake Morton, first home game, all those dynamics. I mean, because he was congratulated and everything, and for it to happen the way it happened, it just didn't look, it wasn't a great look. But at the end of the day, if it was the correct call with the correct time on the clock, if it was a foul, then the free throws, and the kid made the free throws with 0.4 of a second in a pressure situation. You got to throw that in there too, because if he misses two, the game's over. We win. But he calmly knocked those things down, and so this is where we are.
What did we learn from all of this?
That the officials are human.
Yeah.
Right. What else? There's another school besides my alum that you don't let it get close.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Don't let it get close.
Yeah.
Strange things happen in Baton Rouge, and strange things happen in Lorman. Home court advantage, Coach Pettaway and Wheeler. Look at my expression on my face. EA and the family people better not ever tell me that, oh, home cooking. Home cooking. Two places is not home cooking. Hopefully we won't add anybody else on the list.
But see, and you know what? You know, we spending all this time talking about officiating. I think it's taken away from a great season. Because now, Charles, I'm serious. Think about this. When was the last time we had 4 players on the men's side averaging over 20 points a game? 20 points a game. It's been a while.
Man. Yeah.
It's been a while. Carlos, you got 4 kids in the SWAC that are averaging 20 points or more. You got Ruffin and y'all boy Joseph, your ex player. They're leading the SWAC. They're both averaging 21 points a game. Then you got McDaniels from Southern, and then you got the kid at Valley. Both of them had 20 points a game. When was the last time you saw this much offense on the men's side? I think it's a big thing, man. It's great for the game. I love watching these. And Ruffin came in our place
about it, and I asked him about it, and he said 2 words: transfer portal.
Yep.
Is the reason why you have this. I mean, you got more scoring on the men's side than you've ever had. I mean, you got guys averaging anywhere from 15, 16, 17 a game on up to over 20. You probably got 13 guys averaging at least 16, 17 a game. You know, we've talked about how boring it was on the men's side in terms of scoring, but it's just the opposite now, which leads to, I think, more exciting product, more exciting games. And we'll just see how all that evolves.
Because Carlos, we had an old-fashioned shootout. One guy had 39, the other one had 33 in the same game.
Mm-hmm.
That was Ruffin and Dozier now.
Yeah.
Ruffin and Dozier had an old-fashioned shootout.
Well, there's not a shot that they don't like. and can I play devil's advocate? Well, I got a question. Where's Jacob in the scoring for Southern? He was leading the nation. Third.
He's third. He's third in scoring at 20 a game. See, in conference play, they've slowed him up a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's still a lot, Carlos.
Is it better offense or weaker defense?
No, better offense. To me,
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here, Wheeler.
Yeah, no. You're absolutely right, Carlos. I was going to ask that question. I mean, because when you look at all the scoring, is it that we just have great scores, or where's the defense? That's a really good point.
I think you got more. I think you got more at stake. You got more at stake now than you do with the preseason games or whatever it is you want to call non-conference games. You got more at stake now, and teams are really bearing down as much as they can possibly can.
Well, we know each
in
other.
terms of trying to do things to make those scores work a little harder.
Right. But man,
And
they put that ball in that basket, Carlos. I love it, man. I would love to have some of these guys, man. They wouldn't just be leading the conference in scoring. I take a couple of them, they lead the nation in scoring if they played for me. Because I would want them to put that thing up, man. And I think it's making it great for the fans, man. They're watching exciting basketball. And I love it. I love it.
To your point, remember I told a story 2 weeks ago. A guy said he rather, I can't believe he said that to me. He was walking out. He'd rather have a game where it's a lot of scoring and Southern lose than to have a boring defensive struggle.
Game. Yep.
And Southern wins.
Well, Carlos, that's a guy that never coached.
I looked at him. I should have took his name down. I never saw this guy again. But it won't take away from the overall body of work with basketball going on. But I think it's important to discuss it because not only with the Alcorn and Texas Southern situation, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Respect Mr. Brown as a family alone. I have no idea of what you speak. What do you mean? What statement you don't agree with? Carlos Joseph got hurt right before conference play. I think hip point. Missed a couple of games, and he has been playing with it since then.
Okay, he did play against Alcorn. I was wondering why he didn't play. Okay, so that answers that question.
Yeah, and this is the guy, and I keep it nice. It was a parting of ways at Southern University. And if you go back 2 or 3 years ago, when we talked about it, the things that he allegedly did from a team concept, and everybody on this panel agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And
you got to go. I agree with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
I agree with Coach Johnson did that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know everybody deserves a second chance. And he home cooking, Miss Brown, no such thing. Yeah, on that Southern Alcorn, right? That you don't. That strange things happen.
Put some coleslaw on that barbecue, Carlos. Put some coleslaw.
They can forget that on the 7 Hill. Charles, I think it was either double or triple overtime where they beat me by 1. Gillespie was the coach then. And, that was my last trip to FAMU. Got me, I think it's either double overtime or triple overtime, and they got me by 1. But when you look at the free throws, they shot too many. I didn't shoot enough. I think I had 5 or 6. They had like 26. So,
and your team was on the road, correct?
Yeah, I was at FAMU. Yeah, I was at FAMU.
Well, he can't tell me nothing else.
Gillespie was that coach then. Yep, Gillespie was that coach then.
And I'll say this. Remember early in the show, I said it's a potential of a nice rivalry. They're coming back. They're coming to Baton Rouge, if I'm not mistaken, second go round. It should be very, very interesting. but I gave them credit. Out of the two, I was most shocked, actually, by the women's loss. Now, was I shocked about the men? Yeah, anything could happen. And you're going to get people's best shot. I'm telling you. Prairie View women didn't play bad. You said they're the most disappointing, but they're playing the defending champs. They came in and held a good account of themselves.
Yeah.
So, even if I got to limp into that FAMU game, I got to be there.
Well, let me add a caveat about Bethune-Cookman because they're right there. I just happened, of course, our women played Bethune the other night, and I just happened to get into the arena when the men were finishing up their practice before we all took the floor, and Reggie Theus was on it. Mm-hmm. As animated as I've ever seen him as the coach of Bethune-Cookman. He says, we're on top, we're near the top, and it's going to get even harder. He
Good
said,
shot.
you got to love this stuff. You got to eat and drink and sleep this stuff. So what he was saying is, I'm not taking my foot off the gas. And this is the best team that he's had. If you look at the collection of talent, this is probably the best team that he's had since he's been there. And he has a window. I think the window's never closed. It might be a little smaller to jump through it, but they got a window. This is the biggest window that they've had to win it, the whole thing, if all the pieces come together. And so Reggie Theus was on it. And, he's got Jackson today. Jackson's playing really well. And then, of course, we're going there. So Bethune-Cookman can really establish themselves. As Wheeler said, could be some separation. I think that's what Reggie Theus is saying. Like, look, if we get these two, you got Jackson State, one of the top teams, and the Braves kind of right there. We can definitely help ourselves here at home.
Well, Coach Pettaway, that was
works for me. Works for me, Coach Pettaway. I think I would have slid a couple calls that way.
Oh, yeah.
Well, can we agree? Someone said it earlier. I think it's going down to the last week.
Yeah, I do.
On both sides, women and men. So 2-game losing streak here. Next week we come back and maybe a 2-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Consistency is the thing I always preach. And when adversity hits, can you overcome it? In basketball, you have a chance to overcome it. Because, you got a game, Coach Pettaway? Couple days later. Yep. Baseball, you have a couple of days later. Football is where it really you got to soak a whole week till you get another opportunity. Last weekend, Southern 60-43 over Grambling State on the women's side. Also, on the men's side, I can pull it up. I had it right here. 71-53. Southern men took care of business. Both blowouts. And then Southern Thursday night against Mississippi Valley State. I have that somewhere. Let's see if I can pull it up. I had to make adjustments. I had it somewhere. But
69-46. 69-46. Southern over Valley.
That's right, 69-46. So Southern has bounced back after that loss. The team that's the most consistent, who can overcome adversity if it hits, they will be in the talk, and they'll be at it at the end to have one of their goals met, the ultimate goal. Carlos just accepted the divine order of the SWAC. The God's team family is to be restored on tight. Now, see, I gave EA and the family guy, when I came on, I said, great potential new rivalry, and I gave them credit. They did what they were supposed to do. They served home. Now you're not gonna get anything else out of me, EA. I see what he's trying to do. He thinks he can get under my skin there.
Well, Carlos, you talk about adversity. Even the Lady Braves.
Mm-hmm.
We get beat by 1 million against Alabama A&M, who I think could be a matchup problem if they're on. They got the height. They can mix it and match it, in my opinion, whichever way you want to do it. I've seen not every team in the league, but A&M right now, as far as piece for piece, they got everything they need there. But then the Lady Braves bounced back. They beat Texas Southern, a big matchup there. Former Lady Braves player Burnett Skeet coming home, beat Prairie View. And so, and beat Bethune. So, how you get up off the deck is important. And we lost one of our key players the other night. Achilles might be out for the year. We'll know when we get back. It doesn't look good. But Leah Houston, one of our key contributors off the bench, hurt her Achilles, left the arena the other night in crutches. So that's going to be a piece that we're down. So we'll see how that. Next person up. Because for Nate Kilbert, back-to-back SWAC championship game appearances, would like to hoist the gold ball somewhere, whether it's regular season or tournament. And so right now we're trying to stay on top. But FAMU's right there, A&M's right there, Southern is right there. And so I think on the women's side, you're the days of the Jackson States in which they go 17-1 or whatever it is. I think that race could very well go down to the wire.
Right. And now, you know what? One of the teams that we haven't talked about on the men's side, Jackson State. Yeah, Jackson State's playing well, man.
Sean Ruffin.
Hey, Mo got him playing. He has them playing well.
Ruffin.
That's a team that you're going to have to reckon with. And then I think I just saw the other day where ESPN is coming in there to do Sports Center. So you know, they're going to be getting the pub. They're going to be getting the pub. But I'm serious on both the men and women's side. It's some great basketball being played.
Yeah.
It's some great basketball being played, men and women.
Yeah, competitive. Very competitive. Let's take a break. Then when we come back, hopefully we'll be able to put up the standings. You know, albeit it's still early, it's still telling quite a story. Then also Southern football update. Schedule will probably officially come out February the 4th on the signing day. You kind of know the conference schedule already. You just flip it, right? We also talked months ago about a money game. No, I mean, Coach Pettaway, the conference. Like, they played Alcorn at Alcorn last year. Flip it. Alcorn's coming to Southern.
But are we Southern's homecoming opponent again like we were 2 years ago?
I wouldn't tell you that, but it's a possibility.
I need to start getting ready.
just add another trooper.
Need to work on your driving skills, Charles.
Yeah.
Need to work on your driving skills.
Oh,
don't worry about it.
Run up on the grass a little bit.
Hey.
No, this time we're gonna have him spend the night there. He gonna go to the arena Friday night, or the stadium Friday night. He ain't gonna wait till Saturday morning.
I got a call from a friend who's an Alcornite who is in law enforcement. He told me, man, if you had called me, and I had his number, he said, if you had called me, I could have got you on campus. So I got him on speed dial. If we got to go through that again, I don't have to worry about it. So we good. We good over here. We good.
It's a possibility.
Okay.
I'll just leave it as that as my eyebrows go up and down. So let's just take this time out. Then I'll come back and discuss a few more things. And then, of course, later on, we have our predictions. We'll have the schedule for basketball. I can't do anything but sit and watch SWAC TV.
Good basketball, though.
Yeah, good basketball.
Yep.
Yes. Boy, this knee is stiffening up now. and it's elevated, but thank God.
You good, Carlos.
Thank God. Oh, yeah.
You good.
Look, I've done shows after root canal.
Oh, my God.
Wisdom teeth taken up. It's bad for me to not show up.
Yeah.
But I put the old hard hat on, and I look, and let me just say this now. You know, I'm transparent. Thank God for my better half. She's not going to let you lie around in pity. She's not going to let you feel sorry for yourself. She's going to be there for you. Get up and walk a little bit. I know it hurts, but get up. So I definitely appreciate her and everyone who said, man, something's not right. I appreciate you guys. You checked in on me. I really do appreciate that. We'll take a time out. You're watching the Carlos Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. We shall return.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically Black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
It's the 37th annual Zora Festival. It's in Edenville, Florida, Saturday, January 31st and February the 1st. On Saturday, the all-white party tribute to Frankie Beverly with Maze guitarist Jubu. Bread, Sunset, and Taisha Williams. And on Sunday, the Line Dance Party Live with Jeter Jones, Mike Clark Jr., and Boss Lady Coco. Tickets available at zorafestival.org.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black
I was enjoying that. Good thing my ears and my eyes are still operating at peak condition. You just have to love it. No matter if you're at the Celebration Bowl, the bands, the crowd, it's just outstanding. Basketball, same thing. You got to love HBCU sports, no matter what sport it is.
Absolutely.
So once again, I'm blessed. 20+ years. They recovered and talk about it.
Well, Carlos, I know we're going to transition into basketball, but I think I've mentioned this about football before. You talked about Southern schedule. We're going to probably release our schedule, our signing party, February the 4th. One suggestion I would have for all ADs, Will, I don't know if you agree or disagree. I think one of the things fans want to know with football, when is homecoming, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that all of our schools, ADs, should at least release when homecoming's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
What date? They don't have to release the whole schedule, but I think that's the one date that people want to know. When is homecoming?
Mm-hmm.
And I think people can start getting ready then, because hotels are going to be off the charts once you get closer to that. So now releasing the whole schedule, the NFL gives you a little bit of a taste. They don't release the whole schedule at once. They're giving you certain matchups at certain times. I think we should all try to release when homecoming is so fans can start getting ready. Travel is no longer cheap. Flights are no longer cheap. Hotels are no longer cheap. So when you know when homecoming is, then you can at least get ahead of the game. That's just my opinion. And also, if we're going to play Southern in Birmingham, I think that could be announced too. Without releasing the whole schedule, if it's not at Spinks or at Mumford, at least give fans an opportunity to get ahead of the game in terms of logistics.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Charles, as much as possible.
Yeah.
If you're at the mercy of, the whomever's in your particular town or in your particular area, if there are other events that are going on, that sort of thing, or maybe going on, which prevents you from, having homecoming at a particular date that you would like to, that sort of thing, then, you're kind of at the mercy, of some things. If the conference schedule is being reworked on or what have you, and it's not solidified, then, all that plays a part also. Yeah. But, a lot of times, a lot of those things are out of the hands of the AD, and are pretty much in the hands of other entities. And so, sometimes you have to roll the dice where you can, but I agree. It needs to be out there as early as possible so that people can make, travel arrangements, things of that nature. What you don't want to do is put it out there so early to the point where you might have to go back and change it or, something like that. So you want to be absolutely sure that that's going to be the date. And, and if that's the case, go ahead and put it out there as early as possible.
And another little advice, we hope Coach Pettaway, not picking on A&M, but Huntsville, basically, when they put their homecoming schedule out, let's say it's different, like FAMU and Southern, because they've got two major universities in that city, and you just hope. I've seen it where homecoming for LSU and Southern has been at the same time. Charles, you think it was hard to get in?
Oh my God!
And sometimes that happens. So to Willow's point, I'd rather it come out a little later. And I know everybody it's the society we're in. We want it now. And like last year, Southern released the home schedule. Then they released the whole schedule at the signing party. And so I suspect that's going to be. Now, it's a worst case kept secret who Southern's playing in the first game. I've got a little bit of information. It's Southern Alabama State, week 0.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Mobile.
Birmingham.
That didn't work out. Now, as of now, yes, Birmingham. But then my question is, would it be at UAB Stadium, which I think would be better? You can shake your head, but Legion Field.
I was told at Legion Field. I was told that recently. I did ask that same question of a source when we were in Alabama. Was it going to be a protective stadium or was it going to be at Legion Field? And I was told Legion Field.
Now, Carlos, that's better for the Southern Knights because you can't tailgate at protective stadium, but you can tailgate at Legion Field. You know how you all bring all them RVs in? They don't have anywhere to put them over there at Protective Stadium. But you do have that at Legion Field. So from that standpoint now, it's better for your fans.
Okay.
At Legion Field. Yeah, at Legion Field.
Valid point. Now, also, this is not official yet. And I was told from a very good source, that there are 2 other places have made nice offers.
Oh, for that game?
Substantial offers.
Yeah,
but
if that game's in Birmingham, it'll be well attended.
Yeah, well, I just believe my opinion is going to end up in Birmingham. The money game is the University of Houston. I was told from another good source, man. I don't know why I was thinking 350,000.
Mm.
Oh, they're gonna get 500 plus
Mm.
from University of Houston. So you got your money game. Then you're gonna have a Division II team. Then you're gonna have a team below Division II.
Which Division two team? Which Division two team?
Louisiana Bible. Louisiana Bible.
No,
You don't have to worry about Lincoln.
Oh no, thank
About that
God.
one.
You know, they got another program in Louisiana, albeit in NAIA. They're pretty good for their classification. So we won't talk about that just yet. But I've heard Kentucky State. And here's the thing. Kentucky State got robbed last year. Here we go with officiating again.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to get reprimanded. I know I'm going to get reprimanded.
Yeah.
We know what happened in that game. Then we also know this. The head coach is a Baton Rouge native. So say no more. Say no more. And I saw this kid play. McNeese came in and tore Southern a new one. I think it was the first time they ever played, right? The next week, Southeastern went to McNeese. The coach at Kentucky State now, Coach Huggins, had over 200 yards receiving. He's gonna have that team fired up. And then the way they lost at Grambling, oh yeah. I don't care who it is. If it's a NAIA team, you beat them with a gnat with a maul hammer. That's the way I look at it now. And there's a lot of interest. Now, I know Wheeler gonna say commitments, and he's right. Commitments are just that until you sign on the dotted line. But I've counted 40 plus commitments.
Wow.
Already. And I'll say this, they are working their ass off. They are. But you know, you got to put it together and stuff. And so the excitement is there. So Charles, I'll just say this: if it does end up being Alcorn homecoming,
I'll be ready.
You might want to come Thursday.
I'll be ready.
Carlos, Alabama A&M released their schedule too, the entire schedule.
Excellent schedule.
We opened up with Howard in Atlanta at the MEAC SWAC Challenge. We go back with Howard for a long time. Then we get the Lewis Crew Classic. They're gonna bring Miles Collins in the town. That's gonna be a good one. Yeah. Then after that, Tennessee State comes to town. And then we're gonna go to Division II again. We got Bowie State in our Hall of Fame game, bringing back the former player Lou Clue Classic. Then of course we got to make that trip to Tallahassee. That'll probably be the trip I'll make. I'll probably go to Tallahassee. Then they'll have Jackson State again in Mobile. Then we'll come back home and host Bethune-Cookman October the 10th. Then our homecoming. I hate this one. We got Grambling for homecoming. And the only reason why I hate that, I'm saying Grambling's going to draw anyway. So you didn't need them as a homecoming opponent. That's what I'm saying. Okay. And then, of course, 2 weeks later, this is what our fans are upset about. You got homecoming on the 17th, Magic City Classic on the 31st. So that's two big money adventures for our alumni now.
Spend that money.
Then we go out to Prairie View, and then we close it out with we got Texas Southern, and then we go to Mississippi Valley. So they have released their entire schedule. 12 games. That's a tough schedule for year number 2 crochets, but they'll be ready for it.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's always that thing where, and I understand it, you know, I'm not a rich guy. And I understand sometimes fans have to make a choice. Just look at this scenario, Wheeler. Bayou Classic. Then you have the SWAC Football Championship. You make it there, and then you win that. Then you go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I've had people to tell me they had to make a choice. You know, so I can only speak for myself. um, I you have some back-to-back trips.
Mm-hmm.
I knew a lady, and this is another lady. I should have kept her name just for historical preference. She would take a loan out at the local, and this is what she told me. I quote from local credit union every year. She had a nice job. She was single at the time, had a kid, and she would take a loan out. I want to say she took like $1,500 loan to cover all her traveling games for the season. And then the key was she would pay it back before time, pay extra payment.
Yeah.
So I get it. Yeah, it's tough, but go spend that money. Alabama alumni. When I remember seeing them coming to Baton Rouge, now they looked the part. They look like they got some extra cash. Coach Pettaway.
Yep.
And they had on that all red. I guess that's a club.
Yep.
And boy, they be sitting in their stands, and they always had that serious look.
Yep. Somebody wanted to know, did I remember the first time Southern came to A&M? Yes, I do. They took up all our RV spots.
In football, right?
And look, our alumni didn't have RV spots because so many people came from Baton Rouge with RVs. And they made a major mistake. That was the first and last time that ever happened, Wheeler. Because them got so mad with that AD. But he was looking at the dollar sign. He was looking at first come, first serve. And they started rolling in. Wheeler, they started rolling in on Tuesday, man. Friday. Now, you used to coming up there on Friday to hook up.
That's how they were at Jackson State, Coach. That's how they were at Jackson State.
Yep, they did that. Hey, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, Carlos.
Why I'm thinking about that was the time that A&M upset Southern University that day. Is that the one you're talking about, or another time?
No, it was y'all first time. Yeah, I think we did beat you all. Yeah, I think we did. I can't remember.
Yo, you're right.
I think that was the first time. That was the first time coming now to that stadium. That's the first sellout we had too.
Really?
It took
sellout in Louis Cruz Stadium. But now for the SWAC calendar, the MEAC calendar, it's been in Center Park Stadium. Where is that, Charles?
That's the old old Turner Field. Where the
I got you.
A long time ago. Georgia State bought that stadium and transformed it into a football stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the old.
I just want to make sure I'm making my arrangements in the right place. I don't want to be too far from the stadium.
Yeah.
Do like me, Coach Pettaway. I leave that all up to my traveling squad because and you can't miss it right off the interstate.
Yeah,
and it's not far from Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the updates. Southern football update. Look for it. It could be any time. Oh yeah, you're right, Edwin Moore. I remember that game. I was there. That was my first. One of the first things when I got there was, and this was in 93, Coach Pettaway, somewhere in that time. They have an international airport, and my city doesn't have one. Okay, nice. Also, the picture from the Advocate told it all. Second play of the game, that quarterback, Alabama A&M took it about 75 yards or 80 to the 2. And then they scored on the next play. I was like, whoa. And Southern was heavy favorite.
Yeah.
And then the next day in the Advocate, the local paper, that is still in existence. You had Coach Richardson sitting there like he had just lost at that time his best friend and wife. That was shocking. That quarterback rushed for 200 yards in that game, if I'm not mistaken. And they were warned. This guy, a coach on the staff, recruited him when he was at another place. So I remember it well. Beautiful campus, clean. Yep, Southern fans showed up. For some reason, Southern believes in, it's like going to church and they Sunday best. They're going to show up at your place.
Yep, they do.
And they were winning back then. I mean, they were winning. So, again, that's one of the things you kind of put away in your long-term memory. that was really, really good. And then I look forward for Southern A&M to eventually play again in
Right.
future years.
Well, we need
Now-
to get Southern and Alcorn back on the schedule.
Mhm.
See, we're not playing Alcorn this year.
Yeah.
And I was shocked, y'all, because y'all came up last year.
Well, that was a makeup game. I believe it was a makeup game from the COVID era. You know, during COVID, we didn't play, and I think that was one of the games that we were scheduled to play, Alabama A&M. And because of that, the schedule, of course, got all thrown out of whack. And so that's the reason, that was the reason why that game was played last year. And I was looking forward to seeing if we were going to play A&M, but then they released their schedule. Obviously, we're not. And even at Alabama State, I was talking with Dr. Cable when we went over there. Like, are we playing each other this year? He said no. He said, as far as he can remember, we don't rotate on each other's schedules for several years. So that probably tells me that Bethune-Cookman is probably next up as far as who we're going to play. From the eastern side, you're going to play Valley every year. You're going to play Jackson State every year, and then you got Florida A&M that rotated on last year. So those are our three, and FAMU comes to Alcorn this year. But I want to add a quick point about the scheduling. You talk about playing down these D2 schools. Someone, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day that well-sourced, and they said that the price of playing these D2 schools is going up.
I would imagine that it would.
Someone told me that Tuskegee got a 6-figure payout.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably for the Turkey Day Classic you talking about.
They didn't name the opponent, but Tuskegee got a 6-figure payout, and they said that could be going rate going forward in terms of playing those type of teams. So so don't be surprised if those kind of games might be scarce if our schools aren't willing. They're able. They're willing.
I don't know about 6 figures, Charles, but I can see it getting to about 70, maybe 75.
Yeah.
I can see it getting to that point where, previously it used to be like 15, 20.
Right.
Well, let me ask you this. Tennessee State is playing A&M and some of the other SWAC schools. Mm-hmm. Is this a precursor for what's to come?
I don't know. I think it's a lot of politicking going on, in terms of why it hasn't happened sooner than now. Yeah, but I guess it's wishful thinking, Coach Pettaway, that's for sure. Yeah,
right.
And it may be a prelude. Right.
Well, let me ask you: do you think it'd be a good fit for them to come our way?
I think it would. I think it'd be a better fit than the MEAC. I think it would definitely be a better fit. Travel wise and pretty much otherwise. Got a lot more rivalry and with the SWAC schools, that sort of thing. And if I'm them, if I'm looking to make a choice, it would definitely be SWAC over MEAC, no doubt.
And now you can basically play 12 games a year.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it as some will be able to pay it, no doubt. Some in the conference may have a struggle, and then some on the lower end financially, it's going to be tough. You may see some teams just play 11 games instead of 12.
Well, from a revenue point of view, Carlos, they all need it, but other things get in the way. So
things happen.
It is what it is on that one.
Well,
but we can forget about FCS playoffs as long as we're doing a D2 thing. We're not going to qualify. So we can go almost undefeated. But if you're playing 2 D2s, if 2 D2s is in that 10-win season, you can almost pretty much forget about it.
Well, I'm gonna add something to that because we weren't on last week. Of course, again, I interviewed Dr. Cable, and this is on the record because they didn't make the playoffs, and I wondered what their opinion was when it comes to the playoffs because we talked about it so much on this show. Dr. Cable told me that they were prepared to go to the playoffs this past season. They were not selected. But if they were going. Now, he did add the caveat home game at Hornet Stadium. And so and of course, they're data driven. They're looking at all that stuff. So I was really surprised that he said that. Now, he did say North Dakota State probably out of the picture if that was going to happen. But Dr. Cable and Alabama State was prepared to go to the playoffs if selected, and most likely if they were going to get a home game, which they kind of felt that they probably would get, but they didn't. They very, very well could have been in the playoffs, and that would have been interesting. Because I just didn't think they would be interested. We had that conversation, but
how? Go ahead, Coach Pettaway. I think you're thinking the same thing I'm saying.
Man. Carlos, they couldn't go because of the Turkey Day Classic. That game is played after the playoffs start.
Right, where they're going to move that?
All he told me was they were prepared to go if selected.
I think you always want to hold out hope. I think, but if you're well versed enough, in how this game goes, you know that you got to be in the top 16, nationally in order to get a sniff. And we know that strength of schedule, as long as you got those D2s on there, guys, it's going to be difficult to get in the top 16 to be able to qualify for a slot in the beginning.
That's interesting. I'm going to have to go look at that because we've always stated for the record, Grambling, Southern, and Alabama State would not be eligible to go to the playoffs because of the scheduling. So for him to say, I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask him a direct quote on that. And I got his number. That's interesting. But the other 9 teams in the conference, they have the opportunity to go to the playoffs. And you know what they're gonna have to do? They're gonna have to play their what's the revenue of the FCS playoff? Slim and none.
Right. Slimmer and none.
Hold on. Dr. Cavill said they play on a Thursday. If playoffs start on Friday, come on, that's enough preparation.
Theoretically, they could play in the game.
I don't think the NCAA will allow you to play twice in the same week. I don't think NCAA will allow you to play twice in the same week.
So the playoffs start. Well, I need to look at the date.
Some of them start on Friday, and then the first round, and some start on Saturday. That's still tough.
But if you play on Thursday, you're going to be ready to play again on Saturday, and you got travel in there too? Come on.
NCAA is not going to allow that. NCAA is not going to allow that. That's a student-athlete welfare issue. NCAA is not going to allow that.
I didn't go into any detail, and because I was surprised when he said that because we talked about the playoffs and because Alabama State was mentioned. We've talked about Alabama State and their record and all of that. And so I asked him about the playoffs. What does he feel about it? What does Alabama State administration feel about it? And he said they were on go for the playoffs. They just didn't get selected. So
Willa, let me ask you this: could you drop a game
from their side?
Hey, Willa, could you drop a game that late? In other words, if you get selected, can you drop the Turkey Day Classic?
I mean, they can, providing that it's going to be agreeable with, opponent. You got contracts signed and all that sort of thing, Coach. You got an agreement with the city of Birmingham or wherever it's held, and all that sort of thing. You looking at lawsuits of the yin yang.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I mean, if you're willing to pay all that,
and he thought,
God bless you. But,
and he thought, did he think maybe they would get a home game?
They'd be on the road for a home game.
Yeah, I think that was kind of what he was kind of throwing out there. There's a possibility that he could have a home game. I'm looking at, Dr. Cavill just put up a post that said they could cancel the Turkey Day Classic and pay him out. Now,
yeah, but what about your alumni that them book rooms and all that stuff, man? That's a public relations nightmare.
That's an AD killer right there. That's an AD killer right there.
Yeah, man.
Well, he's not making that decision by himself. You know he's running up the flagpole to make sure all eyes are
no doubt about that.
And they run all them jokers out of town, man. They run all them jokers out of town. That happened, boy.
Secretary Johnson, would you sit in? I still call him Coach Barlow, and you come in the room. You remember how Charlie's Angels, and you never saw the boss guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even turn around. You just see a puff of smoke coming up. No, sir, that's not gonna happen. And then you don't make any money in the FCS. And remember, we had these debates for years.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was the term we used? The benefit? No. What was it? It's not a financial benefit, but some argued the exposure is worth even not getting any money. Nope. I guess I don't have to worry about that because Southern Grambling, I mean, it's happened before, but that's just not gonna happen.
It happened in 1988, Carlos. I remember like it happened yesterday. So the Bayou Classic was a week earlier. Grambling got invited to the playoffs and played Stephen F. Austin and led 27-7 and lost 59-56. That's the last time the Bayou Classic was in that window where Southern or Grambling can go to the playoffs.
And did it ever happen again?
No, it did not. And it won't.
That's right. People in a smoke-filled room, they made their thoughts well aware. They made them. Mm-hmm. Again, the back's turned. You don't see who the person is. You just see a cigar smoke going up. That better not happen again. And
why was it pushed back that week, Carlos? I mean, I was a student. I was a young kid. I just knew it happened. Why did
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I'd have to go into my long-term memory.
Yeah.
But just like we had Tony Clayton, I guess, on here.
Yeah.
When he moved that, oh boy, we over a can of worms there. He moved that Jackson State, that Southern Jackson State game. I was told the legislature, black and white, told him that better not ever happen again. I think I should have asked him that. but was that
politicians
true?
Got in it.
Moved it where, Carlos?
Okay, Southern was the home team that year, and they moved the home game to Jackson. Southern fans still came, but the business people were hot as fish grease about it. So you may have won the battle, but you didn't win the war. People were really pissed off,
Yeah.
So what? You only see 25,000 at that time. That's 25,000 packed. And for the Jackson State fans that could get in, you got in. For those that couldn't, stuff happens.
Yeah. Well, Chuck Hunt just chimed in. I don't know if you saw it. The Bayou Classic used to be played before Thanksgiving in the 80s when Grambling was competing in the 1AA playoffs. Now,
how many times? How many times did that happen?
I don't know. Grambling was in the playoffs in 1981, playing in the national championship that season, Boise State and Snow in Boise, Idaho. So 1985. Yeah, 1989 against Stephen F. That's the one I remember.
Well, that's historical record.
85 and 89. Yep. Wow.
Yeah, three times. And it'll never say never, but there hasn't been any since then. And you know why. You know why. That game in itself, tennis-wise, goes more than the first, second, and third round of the playoffs.
Right, but Charles, back when McNair was quarterbacking, didn't they get all quarter in the playoffs?
We were in the playoffs in 90 in 92 and 94. We played Northeast Louisiana.
That's what I thought.
Now Louisiana Monroe, and then Youngstown State. Jim Trustle was the coach, and it was 20 below zero. I was broadcasting the game from the roof. I'll never forget it. So we've been in the playoffs, no success.
No.
So it's, the SWAC is over in the playoffs. And I think that's what sours a lot of people on the whole playoffs thing. And then you add that, you layer that with the lack of financial positivity behind it. Even the commissioner, Dr. McClellan, and I asked him this several years ago, do you see the financial model changing for the FCS playoffs? And at the time he said it is not going to change. It probably will not, because he did say the March Madness, I think he mentioned March Madness finances is what pays for that. Now,
Mhm.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if you all read this. There's a private equity. I read an article on this on X or somewhere where there's a private equity firm that might be. This was probably 3 or 4 months ago. A private equity firm might get involved to help infuse some money in the FCS.
I saw
situation.
Mhm. I saw that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if
What do you
that
think about
happens, then it may make it more attractive. But will our teams buy into it? Will our administrations buy into it? I would say maybe for some, hell no for others. And so we'll just see. We'll just see where that takes us.
That's another whole topic. Private, right?
Yeah, private. Yeah.
Private. Well, we don't know who that could be. I've heard rumors about Saudi Arabia wanting to put money in that. So let's just be careful. I can't believe I'm saying this. Not all money is good money.
Yeah.
But I also am the guy that says the lack of money is the root of all evil. So got to have that balance. Judge yourself accordingly. Yeah, I knew Jackson State has been several times.
Yeah.
No wins. But my answer to that is play them in the regular season. And for those who are eligible or want to go, it'll be more weighted goal on you if you can go in home and home against the FCS brethren and play them but beat them.
Yeah.
Then I think things will get a little bit more interesting. But most of our fan bases, I can only speak for Southern, they could care less. Now, speaking of that, when we had Rodney Kirshner, Associate AD for Southern University, who's the guy in charge of making the schedules, he mentioned about Northwestern State coming back on. You know, people have been asking me during the week, when can Southeastern get on there?
Southeastern?
That's yeah, Brian. I heard that the South is going in on HB Athletics. They're not gonna spend money without thinking they're gonna get a return on it.
They want some hot fish, Brian. They want some hot fish.
Yeah. Didn't they? Aren't they sponsors? I guess I should say sponsors. Aren't they sponsors of some of those professional golf tournaments? Okay, I say no more.
Yeah. They have the money. They have money to infuse into a lot of different things.
Yep, keep that money to yourself.
Yeah.
What else I was about to say? Well, yeah, keep those, play them and beat them in the regular season. Okay, there we go. Thank you there, Mr. Roy. Proud FAMU grad. This is on the women's side. And Charles, we have we've got 3 teams with Southern, Alabama A&M, and Alcorn State 5-1.
Yep.
FAMU 4-2. You can see it. I don't have to read all of it. Texas Southern, Bethune-Cookman near the bottom, and Jackson State. So I think it is a disappointment.
Yeah.
Jackson State. I saw Jackson State. I think Dr. Carey said he wasn't expecting a great season. I'm paraphrasing. But he kind of knew it could be an issue this year. So hopefully they will be patient. You know, Jackson State Southern fans and FAMU, they're not patient at all.
Well, when you're the coach that followed Tamika Reed, the pressure is there. Now, if you're the coach, I'm the coach that got hired behind Tamika Reed, the pressure may not be so much. So I get it. I would expect that, you know, Margaret Richards is a good coach. There's no doubt about that. But right now, it's tough times, and you know, Carlos, you know, guys, there is no patience. They expect Jackson State to be right back up there, despite the talent they have or don't. They expect to be right back up there, and so far, it has not happened.
So, as we stated earlier, I really believe it's going to come down. We'll come back and look at it in 2 weeks. It could be a major shift. Maybe not, but ultimately, I think it's going to be competitive, as Coach Pettaway said, to the last week of the season. Yeah.
Right.
That was the women. Now see if we can put up the men shortly.
Yeah. And then like the women right now, Alabama A&M is leading Texas Southern 25-19 with 3:19 left in the second quarter, Charles.
Now where is that at? At Texas Southern?
Yeah, okay. It's in Houston. Yeah.
Now, look, Burnett Skeet's team has hit a little bit of a bump. You know, they came to Alcorn, and that was a first place battle. Lady Braves handled that. So Burnett Skeet's team, you know, is have a little bit of adversity right now with whatever's going on there. They're that second crust.
Yeah. Not a lot of distance between the top 3 teams and the top in the middle of the pack, 4, 5, and 6. So by no means we're not saying that the season is over. It's just that, in my opinion, it's going to be a fight to the end on both sides. You know.
Yeah, no clear-cut favorite. Yep.
Yeah. And on the men's side, if we have that, Roy, well, I have the paper in front of me here to look at kind of the standings. Like I said earlier, I was kind of worried.
You got FAMU, Bethune, and Jackson are all 4-1 on the men's side, Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all 4-1. And then Alabama, A&M, and Southern 3-2.
Right now, FAMU's a surprise to me. They were picked to finish 8th, and Charlie Ward's team is building momentum. You know, right now with a really good start. They won some close games on the road, so they're kind of developing, even though it's still early. They are the surprise team to me.
Yeah, Southern, Prairie View, and Arkansas Pine Bluff. You know, they started off strong. Yeah. So again, everybody, you're gonna hit a little adversity. How do you respond to it? How can you snap back?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, FAMU 4-1, Bethune-Cookman 4-1, Jackson State 4-1, Alabama A&M 3-2, Southern 3-2. Now, FAMU on a 4-game winning streak. Bethune-Cookman is on a 2-game winning streak. Jackson State on a 2-game winning streak, and Alabama A&M on a 2-game winning streak, and Southern in a 2-game winning streak. Because again, last time I talked to you, Southern was on a 2-game losing streak, and boy, for a half, it looked like a 3-game losing streak. I was wondering what I was going to say to the audience. I was going to say that, hey, this is adversity.
Yeah,
but they hit that big victory in the second half against Bethune-Cookman, and I stated this before. Jacobs to me is a scorer, but I've been pleasantly surprised, Coach Pettaway, with him being a facilitator. Against that Texas Southern, when it got tough, he started dishing to the people, and then once they start hitting the shot. Now, the big 6'10" kid, I'm going to call him Mr. Egypt. And he really came through in that Bethune-Cookman game. I want to say he had 21 points and 18 rebounds. That's potential to set the consistent score. But if we looked at Coach Johnson's teams since he's been here, on any night, that second scorer could be somebody else. But I would like to see that consistency. And one thing is consistent, Coach Pettaway, they play 9 to 10 players every year since he's been there.
Right. And you got to have that, especially if you're going to be a defensive-oriented team, you got to be deep because of foul, the way the officials call the game. You got to have enough people to rotate in and out, keep them fresh, and also not just to keep fresh, but in case of foul trouble. You got to do it. He's done a great job with that. I love the way he changes up his defenses. He does an outstanding job with
that. My cousin said if she has to watch one more time of you complaining about the third official, I'll see you in the holidays. Over food. Oh, that's a threat by my cousin. Well, guess what? I'm gonna tone it down, but I'm still gonna complain. But anyway, someone said that it should have put "it doesn't matter" right in the poll, and maybe we'll pull that up. It's 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, so we started late, so we got about 15 more minutes. So
I got to head to the arena. If we ended on time, I'd be able to stick around. But I got to head to this hostile environment we're gonna run into.
Because he got game today. Yep.
Well, guess what? All right, Charles. We understand.
I will say this quickly about FAMU. I'm giving kudos to the athletic administration. They got the best food set up in all of basketball. They got a hell of a setup down there on the floor. So I am going to say that I'm ready to eat and win 2 games. Go Braves.
Wow. You know, some of the people are listening to that. They're gonna make sure you get hash whenever you come back for another basketball game.
All right, y'all. Talk to you next week.
All right, y'all.
All righty. Scars. Oh, wait, Carlos and the rest of the great philosopher, Ken Rashad.
SU Dad. Yeah.
How soon? Are you talking about all sports? I thought we were talking about basketball, Wheeler. Because that coach that is at Grambling, me and my best friend were last year at the game where Southern beat FAMU by 30 points. It was cricket, remember? Oh, and I felt sorry for him. Now he's a coach at Grambling. But man, Southern spanked him. So no, how can you make that comment? Their daddy. And quoting the great Ken Rashad, that part of the statement is probably the right one, because Ken Rashad is great. He is great. But you lose by 30, Coach Pettaway, and then you upset Southern, which I gave you credit. Then you're gonna make that, and you're gonna make that comment. Shame on you, and you get a demerit. But I'm impressed. A good spread, but a little secret. Charles loves the food no matter where he's at. I've been with him on a broadcast. My hand was hurting at so much service. I went and got food for him. So let's be transparent on that one. All right, Coach Pettaway, help me out.
Yes, sir.
Let's just kind of quickly get into the games and predictions for this week as I go through my notes.
All right, today is Saturday, the 24th, and Jackson State's at Bethune-Cookman. We doing women first. Yeah, we have the women first.
Yeah, well, they both at the same site. Jackson State.
But we're doing the women first. Yeah.
Okay, at Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman women, they've had a tough season. So has Jackson State. But I'm going to go. I think Jackson State's going to pull it off.
I'm with you. What you say, Willa?
I think Jackson State on the women's side.
All right.
Okay. Unanimous.
Then later on in Texas, you got Alabama State at Prairie View.
Have they started to play yet?
No, they play at 2:00.
Okay. Repeat it again. It's
Alabama State at Prairie View.
I'm almost tempted to go for the upset. Prairie View has struggled. I'm gonna still go with Alabama State.
Wait, what say you, Will?
I'm gonna take Prairie View at home.
No, I'm going with Bama State. Prairie View haven't won a conference game yet. Now this is interesting. Mississippi Valley at Grambling has been postponed. I wonder why. I didn't understand that one. And then of course we got Arkansas Pine Bluff at Southern today at 2:30. I don't think we even need to worry about this one.
Well, I don't know, Coach. I guess I'm showing my age, my middle-aged years. I worry about them all. Somehow I think Pine Bluff will play one of their better games, but I still think Southern will get it done.
Yeah,
gotta go with the Jags.
Yeah, I'm glad all the way. And then the last one, the game that's in progress, Alabama A&M is at Texas Southern, and it's almost halftime, and A&M's up by 8.
Oh, we're looking good on the Jackson State. They're up over through Cookman. Of note, Southern and on the men's side, Southern and Valley, that game's been moved from Monday to Tuesday, right? Yeah, with ice on I-20. So that might be the game you were talking about a few seconds ago.
Yeah, Grambling campus. Somebody said Grambling campus closed. Yeah. I see that.
They're in that other part of the state.
I got
One day you'll appreciate this, Coach Pettaway. South and North Louisiana are totally different. It's like a different state.
Yep.
I got it to you.
I got. Then let's do the men real quick. Jackson State at Bethune. That's showdown for number 1 right there now.
Ooh, boy, that's a good one. Bethune-Cookman is
Yep.
tough. Jackson State has played well. I'm gonna use Willard's famous words. They're at home. I like Bethune-Cookman, yeah.
Hard to win in that cracker box. Hard to win.
What you going with Bethune too, Willie? Willie, you going with Bethune?
Got to go with Bethune on that one, Coach.
Yeah, they tough in that round.
I like what Mo doing. I'm going with Jackson State on this one. I like what Mo doing.
Oh, good.
All right,
going
now.
for the upset.
Yep.
Oh,
All right,
later
on today at Texas Southern, Alabama A&M goes into Texas Southern.
Texas Southern is due for one. They've had it tough. And just throw out that miracle of win. But I'm gonna go with Texas Southern to upset.
I'm gonna go with Texas Southern.
What about you, Willie?
Texas
I'm
Southern.
gonna stay with my Bulldogs because Dante Jackson has had Coach Jones' number now. So I'm going with it. I'm going with A&M. All right, Alabama State at Prairie View.
We ain't talked a lot about Alabama State. They were in the early predictions. They were supposed to be really good, a tough team. Prairie View is hot. Everybody loves the young man who I don't mention by name, but he's been injured. I'm gonna go with Alabama State.
What about
I'm
you?
going with Alabama State too. Alabama State.
Yep. Well, it's gonna be a sweep. I'm with Bama State also. Then the last one, Pine Bluff men at Southern. I don't see Pine Bluff getting up out of there.
I don't either.
Carlos, what you thinking about?
Well, I'm always thinking Southern's gonna still get people's best. Even though they didn't win the tournament, they won the regular season.
But Pine Bluff depth is not going to be enough at Southern.
Nah, not at home.
I like Southern as I speak. It's cold rain that started to fall here in Baton Rouge. So, Southern will win it, but I think it won't be easy. Put it that way. They'll take care of business in the second half.
Now, real quickly on Monday, A&M's at Prairie View.
I think A&M gets this one.
A&M.
Yep, I do too. Alcorn at Bethune-Cookman.
Oh, that's gonna be nasty. Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah.
Gotta go with Bethune.
Yeah, I go with Bethune on this one. Then here's a showdown again. Jackson at FAMU.
Wow, you would want to say Jackson State wants to split. We're always talking about a split on the road because it's so tough.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking Jackson.
Yeah,
I think Jackson gonna pull it off.
I think that'll be the split. That'll be the one that they'll win out of the split.
And then, of course, Monday night, also Alabama State will be at Texas Southern. I don't think Johnny gonna let both teams beat him.
Well, I had him win in the first one.
Texas Southern. I'm gonna go with Texas Southern.
Yep, I got Texas Southern on this one also.
And who they playing?
Bama State at Texas Southern.
I'm gonna go with Alabama State.
Yeah. All right, now Carlos, who did you say was moved? The game was moved to Tuesday.
Southern and Valley.
Yeah. Southern. I mean, Valley won't have nothing for Southern. Yeah, they won't have nothing for Southern.
Yeah, but the weather conditions, again, everyone be safe. It's going to start deteriorating as we move on into the day. Now, where I'm at in Baton Rouge, if you're in Jackson, you're in Vicksburg, you're in Alexandria, Shreveport, and Monroe, the biggest threat is going to be ice. Ice is more dangerous than snow.
Right.
I don't know why they call it black ice because I don't see any black ice. But you know, you can't see it.
Yeah, that's why it's called black ice. Yep.
Come up with another term for that one. And so we're right on the threshold. They say mostly rain, but then the temperature's going to drop. So so low. See, for Wheeler, you said what? It was 5 degrees?
Yeah.
4?
Yeah. 5.
That's like minus 40 in Baton Rouge because, we'll get down to 20. Last year, we got down to 14 degrees. Then the wind chill factor. So even if it's a lot of rain, will it freeze once the next day? So we're kind of caught right in the middle there. But Huntsville, Jackson, Mississippi, all those areas, it could be up to 2 to 3 inches of ice, and that's deadly. So all that to say, be careful.
Yep.
I'm going to be in my house. I couldn't drive anyway. So I'm just going to try to heal and get even better. And so next week I can tell you I'm better.
That's good.
And that's what I hope for.
Well, we're going to claim it. We're going to claim it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Want to thank everybody in the chat room. Appreciate you. Again, some of those reached out to me and they said, we missed you last week. That was the reason why. Also, Roy for stepping in. Melody, she had an issue producing, but she does a great job. Then we want to thank everybody for that. So we'll end it. We'll end it right here, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the afternoon and watch some good basketball.
Oh yeah.
But now here's another thing. People are asking me why the Southern games are not on SWAC TV like others. I don't know. I don't think the game today. Both games are on SWAC 2, but you have Jaguar Vision, which I'm not a member of. I downloaded the app, so I guess I need to swipe that card, and I can see it. If not, I can listen on radio. But someone asked me about that. We saw the schedule before the season started, and Southern's really not on there a whole lot, particularly the women.
But
they defended champion.
Carlos, according to the men's schedule, it's supposed to be on SWAC TV.
That's good news today, then.
Yeah. Today is wait a minute, I got the wrong. Yeah, no, that's it. The 24th. Pine Bluff at Southern, SWAC TV.
Okay.
And then Radio 99.3.
Yeah, that's Pine Bluffs.
Okay. I'm sorry.
But I guess the question was, some people thought they would. Let me rephrase it. They thought they would be more. They would have more appearances than what they have. That was their opinion.
Right.
But just win, baby. Just win. So that was good news. So, how about the women? Same thing, SWAC TV.
Oh, let me check here.
If you didn't know any better, Willard, you'd think, why is he always interested in Southern?
Yeah, your women at 2:30 on SWAC TV.
Well, guess what then? I'm gonna get my
you got a double head on SWAC TV, man.
Good. Oh, let me say this. Ossie Clark, he did the Prairie View game. Much shout out to him. Did an awesome job. I was like, I know he's a football analyst. I think he did say he's a coach basketball. He did a bang up job, and he explained it and broke it down.
He and PM they go together. They do an awesome job, man. Awesome job.
Well, I thank you, and what you continue to do. I think Wheeler. I can bounce off ideas to Wheeler, and guess what? One thing with Wheeler, you're not gonna get it sugar coated. Like I sent him the picture of my knee. He was like, "That's nasty."
Yeah,
that's a man that's gonna just put it out there. So I appreciate everybody. Thanks. We'll see you next Saturday. I know we will. Next Saturday at 11 a.m. for another edition of the Carlos Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. Until next time, as always, peace and God bless.